Hey guys, Mustached Tom here to review the series Fallout Season 2. I know I'm a little bit late on this one, but channel is, well, not visible that often, is still rather busy. So, here we finally are with Fallout Season 2. For those that need a reminder, I also reviewed Fallout Season 1. And I thought it was pretty mid, all things considered. Of course, Fallout was based off of the video game of the same title, and the video game Fallout has had some pretty mid stories to begin with. So I was saying how that shouldn't have really surprised anyone. And Season 2 wasn't in the greatest of shapes after Season 1's, again, what I would consider a mid, outing in terms of Season 1. But I guess it was popular enough in the mainstream to get said Season 2, and presumably based off how this ends, even if Season 3. But I digress in saying I am here to review it as objectively as possible. Now, I have heard people say it's getting, this show is phenomenal, and I've seen the opposing side say this show is terrible, it's the worst, it's really, really bad, and I've even heard some lies saying how they blew up New Vegas. Spoiler alert, that does not happen in the show, in Season 2. So I was lied to. That's fantastic. Can you guess who lied? Their name rhymes with me cap. I'll be creative this time. Anyway, so this is my review of Fallout Season 2. I won't be going over every episode, as when I review seasons, I usually go over the entire season in a more sort of brisk way instead of going pure episode. What I found odd immediately about Season 2 is that it was promoted as the season that was going to take place in New Vegas, and we begin by not being in New Vegas but heading toward New Vegas. We actually don't encroach on the area that the show's hyped up, because there's the video game Fallout New Vegas, and I will say, I have not played New Vegas in a long time, since its release probably, so I don't really remember the story all that well. Everybody memes on Fallout 4 story, but I don't remember New Vegas story at all. So what should that tell me, If, as cringe as episode, or the Fallout 4 game story is, at least it's memorable. That's a weird criticism to levy at the New Vegas video game perhaps, but I don't remember the story of that game at all. Anyway, point being is that it's odd that even at the beginning of the season, they're not already in Vegas, they're heading toward it. So we have Lucy, the Ghoul, and Maximilian, or Max, once again, are or Lucy and the Ghoul are together in this season, so they're like a shared story. And they do the same gimmick as last time, as there's like these sort of side stories sort of converging all at once. So there's Lucy and the Ghoul story where, they're doing the whole opposite thing of she's still as innocent, or less innocent, but still sort of innocent character from the vault, and he's the the badass that will break the rules to show her that, this is the way things are out here, sort of attitude, bumping up against each other directly. Versus Max, he's going through the story where he sees that the Brotherhood continues to not be what he wanted it to be, and that the leadership was questionable at best. And so, as those two converging plots are happening, there's another one. We still have the story with the brother, Lucy's brother, who is trapped in the vault still, but he helps out these other vault dwellers and they all escape with him in tow. And I will say, like, out of all the you could cut this story out completely and lose nothing. This had to be the greatest waste of time in terms of, like, oh, we're gonna introduce a whole set of characters, this whole new group of vault dwellers, have them exit the vault with the brother, and then the vault dwellers, with the exception of the brother, are all going to die with the exception of one other character, who are now heading back, apparently, to the vault. That's their entire story. It's like, wow, what a weird, bizarre, almost, again, unnecessary story. And, like, I guess in terms of, like, changing things, it only moved the brother slightly, in terms of, like, where he was to where he is. But it's like, damn, that's so almost insignificant. It's like, oh, okay, well. But you have moments where Lucy's still trying to help people, and that's primarily how they end up in more trouble than they are bargaining for. And he has to help her out a lot. Max comes across this power source that is able to power anything, very equivalent to Fallout vibes, in terms of, like, even Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, both of them definitely both have the similar gimmick of, like, there's this MacGuffin that's super powerful. So he's the one who comes into contact with it first, eventually giving it to the ghoul at nearing the end of the series. Lucy ends up getting recaptured by her dad, so she literally ends up back in square one, just a little bit more prepared. And now she's dealing with the consequence of the father is trying to chip people with these microchips to make them good civilians, because the wasteland is, boy oh boy, it's a bit too chaotic, and this ought to do the trick of enslaving people, making them just docile and cool-headed, but also comply with whatever order you give them, so, you know. So Lucy's not a particular fan of that conclusion, being that she still wants to try to change the wasteland for the better in her own way. But, you know, she has seemingly been needing of saving a lot. Like, when they end up trying to save this lady who's calling out for help, then the ghoul ends up helping her, and then she ends up helping this other lady while he's, like, struggling. Then Lucy gets in trouble again elsewhere, and the ghoul just happens to find her, even though she ended up in a different location entirely. It's like, oh, okay, this is just a show of, like, the characters just know what's going to happen. They read the script unironically. Okay, well, I see that's really just cheating our way to get our moments of a character saving another character. There's no setup of like, oh, the ghoul finally has to ask for help in order to help somebody else. Maybe there's something along those lines. It's just gonna, nope. He just finds her when she's with Kaiser or Caesar, depending on who you ask, I guess. Anyway, so this season has its own bearing of issues of just like, oh, okay, they just happen to find each other now. That's just neat. And it's not the last time that happens. Oh boy, is it not. Because, there's this moment where Max is fending off against the Death Claws, because we actually see them this season. And there's quite a number of them. They must have been near a Deathclaw den or something, I don't know. But anyway, point being is they're near one. And he's actually fighting them off pretty well, decently. He's in his power armor. Which, you know, in the game gives you like a uber buff, so that tracks. If you know the video game, and you can't say that's like, oh, that's cheating or what. No. The power armor, like, that's literally one of the first things you do in Fallout 4, the video game, is you get in the power armor, you get the minigun, and then the Deathclaw is like one of the first things you encounter in that game, and you have to kill it. Well, you don't have to kill it, but you probably ought to. At any rate, so yeah, like, they introduced the Deathclaw really early in the game, but here we're saving up for the Deathclaw, and Deathclaws, plural. But Max is starting to struggle, and he gets saved by the Fallout New Vegas character, the coroner, or whatever his name's supposed to be, the protagonist of that game, I guess. Even though I don't think the timeline adds up. I googled it. New Vegas happens pretty early, and then subsequently it's 3 and then 4, and then the show is supposed to take place after the fourth game, Fallout 4. So this is like after Fallout 4, so I'm not sure how that character survived all that time. Not sure entirely, but whatever. At any rate, he just happens to get there, just like the last time, though. There was, like, no contact, there was no way that character knew that they would be there. They just happened to show up and do the Fallout thing where they slow-mo the gun. It's like, oh, we're doing that again? Where characters just happen to save each other conveniently? Giving other characters plot armor through their appearance. My god, this show is you know, this show is actually worse than Stranger Things. Because most of the criticisms about Stranger Things are dumb and bad. The criticisms are. But this, I can actually see the issues. Because they happen in the show, and people aren't having to lie about them, apparently. That's a nice change of pace. Except mayhaps the people glazing the show. Maybe they need to calm down a bit. Who knows, right? At any rate. So where we end up is somewhere that pretty irritates me, right? We've been spending a lot of time heading to New Vegas, and then it feels like most of this season is set up. Like, it doesn't feel like the season is in itself like a story arc of an archetype of any kind, right? It seems like a bridge almost, as if they knew they had a season 3 and they were like, well, we can end it in this like weird place where we're setting up, you know, this again bridge. So Liberty Prime is unveiled So, they're going to utilize that again from Fallout 4. But what I don't understand is the character that saves the character that ends up finding this. It confuses me, right? Because this character, the one who was like lambasting Max this whole time about like, oh, you need to be the strong guy, you need to be the even the leader, or you need to make good on the brotherhood and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, now they're the ones who end up saving that the leader of the brotherhood, and hearing him say that he's going to become the destroyer and being like, yeah, that's fine. It's like, what the fuck happened? They character assassinated this character in one scene. It's like, what the fuck? So yeah, we have character assassination in this show. This is bad. Like, I don't think people understand that this is what it actually looks like to be a bad show, not Stranger Things in comparison. I don't think anybody gets character assassinated in Stranger Things, to my knowledge. So yeah, this is bad. It's like, why would you save that guy? You were the one who were like help planning the gun out to like not kill the guy, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm on board. It's like, fuck off. Jeez. As of Lucy, she deals with her father by chipping him with his own device. And the ghoul ends up finding a note card from the mom when he was in the deeper vault, the Vault-Tec vault. Speaking about Colorado, which is probably, I'm guessing, where they're heading in the show next. I don't know, right? Or at least that's where he's heading next. Who knows where the others are going. But there's all this talk of war between the Enclave and the Brotherhood, and there's like this other group. Oh, and they introduced the super mutants through the ghoul. There's like the setup of that. This ghoul, this super mutant can talk. So again, akin to like the one in Fallout 4, the one that could talk. I don't remember that character's name right now, but yeah, this show, it continues to be. The season 1 was pretty mid. I'm gonna say season 2 is a little bit worse, honestly. Character assassination, even worse conveniences as far as I could tell from what I can remember of season 1. Yeah, this is rough. So it is really clear that the writers need to start paying attention to what what the critics are saying, and not the people that are glazing the show. Because like I wanted the show to succeed. Like, Fallout is a really fun game despite having the mid story. Fallout 4, like, I have fun playing that game despite its simplistic mid story. Like, that game is still really fun to play. I'm playing it right now, in fact. Oh, again, like, because it's just really fun to play. Really annoying at times, but So in terms of a score, boy, this is like a 3 out of 10. This is like bad. Legitimately worse than season 1. I'm shocked that it was this bad. Yeah, like the whole brother thing, like I'm thinking of that too, and it's just like that was like, again, like I was saying, like that waste of time almost. Anyway, so that is Fallout Season 2. It's not great. So I would hope that we can get something good in Season 3. That'd be a nice change of pace. Maybe, like, look at who actually wrote New Vegas, if that story was really strong to begin with. Maybe, like, talk to these people who wrote the game, or, like, I don't know. Or listen to your critics who are actually giving you proper criticisms. Do one of those two things, and then rate Season 3. Because, you know, you might have way less issues moving forward. Because that's what I want to see. Moving forward. Please and thank you. That's my review of Fallout Season 2. It's not good. It's a 3 out of 10. And if you ended up enjoying this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head to my petition about small YouTubers, second to my PayPal where you can help support me and my channel directly, and third to my Discord server where you can join collab shields, all that cool stuff for free. And until next time everyone, bye bye.